In this video, we are going to make use of your notes here, your thermodynamic textbook, and also the notes retrieved from this slide share. Hi class, so we are going to continue this class today for chapter 2, where we are going to have a look at the air conditioning process. So we are going to see how does the aircon in the classroom works. Alright, so as you can see in this picture here, this is a typical classroom in UiTM, but I guess for this one is in your computer lab. So let's have a look at this image here, where you have this supply duct, right? So the person who sits around here can feel the coolness of the room. Where does this cooling air comes, or cool air? So this is the objective of this video today, right? So if we can take this view into this kind of representations of diagram, right? You will see that this is the classroom area. So this is the classroom area, and you have the supply air diffuser, which is what happened in here. Alright, so you can see that this is where you are standing, right? And we have this diffuser over here. And where does this air coming from? So if you can see, they are coming from this part, right? And also this part. So along the way, you will need to pay attention to a certain area, which is the first part is the supply air diffuser, and that you have this cooling coil and drip pen, and you have this return grill, and also at this juncture, okay, and also at this area. So altogether, this is, I'm not saying that you only need to remember this, but this is among the crucial part that you are going to consider when you are designing your air conditioning. So in this part of this lecture, we are going to have a look on how are you going to supply this cooling coil to cool this coil, so that when the air comes from the outside and the air that comes from the return grill into this area, right, will make your air inside this room cool again, right, despite of the activity that you are doing. So we will have a look at how the indoor air mix up with this area, right, and hit your cooling coil over here, so that you will feel cool again, right? And that, not to forget, how does this heat that coming up from your body, right, will flow through the return grill and coming into here, and some of it are going out, right, some of it are coming here, and it's going to mix with this thing and then hit the cooling coil, and everything is going to be cool again. So we move a bit down here, right? So you will see another schematic diagram that only leave you with the pipeline, right, with the line of supply into your room and the return, so that you can see clearly where is your cooling coil. So there will be another part throughout these courses. You are going to learn about chill water supply that comes from your cooling tower, right? But for this part of lecture, we wanted to focus on this area here, right? How are you going to cooling out this coil? so that when the outside air and the return air comes in, okay, so when the return air comes in, which flows from here to here and mix up with the cool air from outside, right, hit your cooling coil, so it's going to be colder, right? It's going to be colder when it supplies into your room. So these sections over here is the same thing that I explained just now, which happens in your AHU room, right? So the blue is representing cool, and the red is representing the hot air. But for this one, as you can see, this is a simple heating, right? Because this one is taken from the YouTube video. Probably this is during winter, so it's going to supply heat inside your space. Whereas the focus of our mini project is suit with our environment, which is we don't have a 4 seasons, so mainly we are going to design for a cooling effect inside a room. Hence, this is what we are going to learn in this video. We are going to have a look at the air conditioning process, and then we are going to try to solve this simple cooling example over here. Alright, let's have a look at this slide share. Alright, so you are doing your work in here, right? So heat is coming through from the window, and this is the cool air which is going to supply. So you will have a source of cool air over here, and this is what we plan to calculate from your example over here, right? So what happened? Okay, from this cooling coil, you are going to need a fan to blow into this supply air duct, right? So this is your cold air that comes through outside, from the outside, and hit the cooling coil, and you are going to feel the cool inside your room. And you have a terminal here, which you can see again from this classroom picture over here, right, which is your diffuser. And that you are also going to have a return grill, okay, where from the concept of heat, so it goes to flow into your return air grill. R stands for return, S stands for supply. And you are going to have another duct over here. We are going to learn about ducting, sizing in chapter 4, if I'm not mistaken. And also the air will be pushed by a fan to flow inside your air handling unit. So this is where you will need to have a filter, and the fresh outdoor coming from the outside, right? And you are going to have a damper over here, and both air will be filterized before it hits the cooling coil. Now, some of the return air will also goes to the exhaust area, to the outside of your environment, and some of it will be into the system bag. Okay, so this is the crucial part when the things such as the problem that we face right now regarding the COVID-19. Why is it that we cannot be in a confined space or in a classroom? Because if someone gets infected, so the return air will be circulate inside the whole room. So imagine if we were to stay for about 2 hours in class, that will probably turn into a disaster, right? And so we are concerned about this cooling effect over here. Where does this cooling effect comes from? So this cooling effect comes from your chill water supply. And where does this chill water supply comes? It comes from your cooling tower. So this section over here is the same thing that represent in these sections over here, and the bottom part the chill water supply, we will further learn in your plant class, and also we will further learn in chapter 4 or chapter 5 if I'm not mistaken. Hence, we have finished the first part, so that you will get to understand why you will need to learn this, and also why you will need to know all this formula over here, and why you will need to know all this value and concept, so that you will be able to design the central air conditioning system, and you will be able to appreciate where does the cooling effects come from, and you will understand how does the air conditioning works in your classroom. Thank you.